it is time for our interview with the amazing Tanya Janca, author of Alice and Bob Learn Secure Coding. My name is Paul Roberts. I'm the Director of Editorial and Content here at ReversingLabs. Tanya, welcome.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. It's so nice to see you again.
It's great to see you again. So, first of all, let's just introduce you. So you do developer relations at SEMGRUP. That's been your gig for a while now, but we're actually on the cusp of a big change. So talk about that.
Yes, this week's my last week at SEMGRUP, and I am moving on to do She Hacks Purple things all the time. So another community, another academy, and just teaching this book to everyone.
So you're the founder before SEMGRUP, you're the founder of She Hacks Purple, which is another developer education community. So this is a continuation of that tradition.
I'm going to come up with a new name, though.
Yeah.
I'm floating a bunch of names. Maybe I can float some by you after.
Yes. Where did She Hacks Purple, where did that name come from? What was the, and you're wearing purple. Yes.
Of course, it's just so, I went to Ireland to a conference, and WannaCry broke out live on stage. And people were literally all running around as someone on stage announced it, and then we're all reading Twitter. And I kept reading over people's shoulders because I didn't have an account. And someone says, make an account, they're free, these are grown up. And so my email was She Hacks Computers. And that was too long. And so I was like, people keep calling me purple because I keep doing red team and blue team stuff. I go, I don't know, She Hacks Purple. It's not like anyone will ever follow me. And it just all went out.
It just took off.
Right?
So this new project of yours is really going to be about operationalizing Bob and Alice Learn Secure Coding. Talk about what that looks like.
I feel like a thing that we have been missing is in the security community is this reaching out to developers. So a lot of us all speak at security conferences, and then we are all singing to the choir of everyone that agrees. We all agree, right? We should write more secure code. We all agree. I need to reach them. And so I want to make a thing that is not only for security folks, but also where every single developer feels welcome and wants it. And like they don't have to know 500 things before they get there. Because I remember the first time I went to a security conference, because I was a dev for 17 years before I did security, this was me. And I didn't understand anything the whole conference. I was like, wow. And it took me like a year to just even be able to understand half the things they were saying. I'm like, what does OWASP stand for? Is that a bug?
Yes.
So I want to make a place where it's easy for them to join us and see what we
One of the criticisms we often hear, or observations even, from people like you or Chris Weissopel or what have you, is that currently the way we teach software development does not really CS programs in universities, cybersecurity and secure coding, not really a part of that.
I've never seen a secure coding course at a university or college that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen one application security course so far, and the rest have just been web app hacking, a lost top 10, which is way better than nothing.
Yes.
But not enough. Yeah.
But you've got a book that they can now, have you seen much response?
No, so my first book I reached out to many universities and colleges, and all of them said, yeah, you can come here and be an adjunct professor for 3,000 Canadian dollars per semester, which is like about 2,000 American dollars. We'll own all your content. You will work 16 hours a week for 4 months. And I was like, is that 3,000 a week? They're like, no, that's for the whole semester.
You're like, that is below minimum wage.
Gosh, this is such a steal. I don't understand why.
Or you can work at McDonald's.
Yeah, so instead I did streams for my first book, and I just did every single chapter for free, and that's what I'm doing with my new book when I open the community. Free lessons on every single chapter. I'm going to have more formal lessons that will cost a little bit, but I'm just going to do a stream every single month for 15 months.
Really interesting and important, because as we know, the root of better security in the future is better knowledge of secure coding and secure practices, right?
Yes, so we talked about AI earlier.
Yeah.
And so right now everyone's vibe coding, right? And so they're getting the code from the AI, and then they're like, cool, prod. But what I would like is for them to review it and know what to review for. And so a lot of my classes, it used to be us writing the code, and now it is a lot of reviewing code, because that's what they're doing all the time now. They don't get to write as much code anymore. The AI writes a lot of it, but they need to know, good code instead of YOLO. Like, I'll pick this crap up, Stack Overflow, hope it's not awful.
Yeah, listen, AI for code generation is mind-blowing. The quality of the code has really improved in the last 5 years. Obviously, the speed at which it is created is unbelievable. I guess one of the issues, though, is it creating secure code, as you would define it? If not, which I'm reading your face, no, what does that then compel the developer who's doing the vibe coding, who's using AI to do to fix those issues in the generated code?
So when I teach secure coding, I started doing this bad, better, best. And so we do a lesson, and then we do some bad code. So we look at some bad code, and we're like, what do you think of this code? Like, it's bad, Tanya. I'm like, why is it bad? Like, it's missing all the things you talked about. I'm like, okay. And then we go on to better code, which has one defense, and then the best code. It's like multiple layers of defense, and it's all the lessons we've talked about. And when I ask the AI to do the code, I don't tell it to make it bad. And 90% of the time, it's the bad code. And I don't have to edit a single thing. And then I code and change it so it's better and then the best.
Let's flip this around. Are there ways that you see to leverage AI and large language models to automate some of the types of reviews, assessments, quality, integrity checks that you talk about in Al's book?
Yes. So things that I'm interested in are creating prompts that say in the book and on my newsletter, and if you want, I'll just give you the link. I have a secure coding guideline. So for instance, creating a prompt that says my code must obey this guideline. And so everything you generate for me, once you've generated it, I need you to take a second pass and check that every single thing obeys this, and then give me the code.
Right.
And so you could do a prompt like that in only, so I know prompts can only be so long, it's only 9 pages, and that's including lots of spaces. You don't have to have that many spaces, right? And so it'll fit into a prompt. And so you can just copy and paste that in there and just be like, my code must obey this. And then it's going to be poorly darn good. And then after that, once you get it, then doing another pass and saying, could you review this for security vulnerabilities? Like, look for these 10 things. I have an entire chapter where I categorize vulnerabilities instead of CVEs, which are very, very specific.
Right.
It's more memory safety issues. Can you look through this code for memory safety issues? Can you look through this code for, am I mishandling objects? And so do that and have it look for that for you. And then hopefully you're doing normal checks like static analysis. You deploy it and you do dynamic analysis as extra checks. But if you're doing those things, you're going to end up with much better just starts.
Right.
And then I hope over time, I really want the AI people to be able to train their AIs on secure code. Right now, they can't because they need at least 1 million lines of code. I have been told. And they're like, where can we find 1 million lines of code that are secure that we are allowed to train our model? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't have that. Like my book's 425 pages, but that's not enough. That means nothing for our AI. So we need to find a way to meet in the middle so that we can train the AI to, by default, give us better code.
Okay, final question.
And then books.
What's your next book?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. My fiance is like, please don't write another book, Mama.
Oh,
He's like, build another company instead.
Okay. And as you're launching this new developer community, how does AI fit into the puzzle? What role do you see it playing in furthering your mission to teach better secure coding practices?
Oh, I'm already starting to teach workshops with AI, with the decks. So how you can use it in your daily life to make your job better and more secure. And so it's basically every client now, I'm not going to do this unless there's some AI, like obviously.
Yeah.
So basically it just needs to be a part of everything you teach to make sure whatever you're doing is actually what you're going to do at work. Right? Because there's very few people now who never use AI at work. And if they're not, I want to show them how they can and how they can be awesome. And you can use it for more than just writing code.
Right.
Like it could help you write your performance review. It could help you take a letter where you want to say something to your boss, and then it's a please change the tone so I sound like you're grown up.
Right.
There's so many things that it can do for you if you just practice.
Right. But the core problem, and we see this across all different topics, is as the Homo sapien, as a human, you still need to understand both coding practices and secure coding practices, right? You need that knowledge yourself. You cannot just outsource it to the large language model.
Everything you get from the AI, you have to check. If you're going to submit work, it has to be your work. You have to approve this work, which means you need to review it and make sure it's true. I had it help me rate a self-reflection for my performance review, and it said I won all these awards that never won. And I was like, thank you, that's very nice, but I just asked you to change the tone and make it sound a little more formal and fancy. I did not ask you to tell a bunch of lies. So you really need to be careful of no matter what you submit.
Yes. Nobel Prize winner Tanya Janca here. Tanya, thank you so much for coming and talking to us. We have your book here, and Tanya's going to be signing copies and giving them away. Come line up, and she'll hook you up.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.